A pleasant day to all of you. First, let me acknowledge Our Lady of Fatima University for conducting this very important and very timely event that fosters collaboration among research and extension practitioners in the country and all over the world. This is indeed a groundbreaking moment for OLFU, headed by my good friend, President Caroline Enriquez, who has spearheaded an international event that embraces a wide spectrum of themes for both research and extension in the lens of the new or next normal. I am happy that this conference named SPARKS 2022, meaning Synergizing Partnerships in Advancing Research, Knowledge, and Service, brings together higher education leaders, educators, researchers, and movers from the Philippines, Singapore, Australia, Finland, and North America. This is indeed an exciting opportunity to raise awareness and network with vibrant and motivated experts and be able to discuss current issues in higher education. As you all know, research and extension are anchors of all higher education institutions. Teaching cannot be substantial if it is not anchored on solid research. The public responsibilities of universities in helping communities, local governments, and the country as a whole are responsibilities that are part of their extension mandate. And research and extension are, of course, intertwined. When you do your extension work, it should be well documented so that you can use the assessment of the extension and the lessons learned in teaching your students, or that what you're doing in research should result in extension programs that will help communities in the Philippines and all over the world. The top universities that are internationally ranked and our national universities all have a defining character. And this is the tremendous production of research activities and extension programs. In short, universities matter if they do very good research, and they matter more if they can help communities and their countries develop. I always say that the best metric and the rationale of university work is the extent to which the communities around the university have changed for the betterment of the lives of the people. Such is the anchor of development in higher education institutions and the importance of research and extension functions. But as you know, when COVID hit us and hit the whole world for the past 2 years, we had to battle the pandemic. When it hit the country in March 2020, the two things that were affected the most by COVID was research and extension. Yes, we shifted to a policy of flexible learning so that education and learning will continue, and so that the teaching responsibilities of the university will continue amidst the pandemic. But we could not say the same in terms of the impact of COVID-19 on research and extension. Research was suddenly very difficult to undertake because of the restrictions caused by the closure of universities, the restriction of local governments in terms of mobility of individuals, and the international restrictions imposed by other countries that did not allow researchers researchers to move across political jurisdictions, both locally and internationally. For many of the researchers out there and those who are attending the conference now, we in the Commission understood and continue to understand the difficulty in undertaking both research and extension during the COVID-19 pandemic. In the case of extension, you could not do field work. You could not do laboratory work. Many of the timelines and the deadlines in research and extension projects could not be met during the COVID-19 pandemic. We know that in the Commission because many of the existing research projects that we were funding could not be implemented. And many universities told us about the difficulty in completing these researches on time. And in the Commission and Bank, we were inundated with requests for extension, most of which we granted because we understood the difficulties in completing deadlines. Our research grants in the Commission were not given during the pandemic because there were practically no proposals being submitted to us. And so the fear at the height of the pandemic was that research will now have to be reconceptualized, not just on the methodology side, but also at the ground level and at the field level. And it will have to change because of the restrictions imposed across countries and across political jurisdictions. The same goes to extension programs, because how can you go to the communities to help them if public transportation is not available? If local governments close their borders, and if communities themselves are not welcoming because of the fear of the unknown. So to the professors and employees of universities, how can you help local governments if what they were concerned with was the day-to-day survival of their constituents in the different parts of the country? This was the context that made it very difficult for research and extension to proceed at the height of the pandemic. As the situation is now getting better, classes are now allowed, and now that different nations are slowly going back to be connected, both internationally and geographically, conferences like this is what we need to go into in the new normal. Now, as the situation is getting better, classes and face-to-face classes are now being allowed. And now that different countries are now slowly going back to be connected, both internationally and regionally. Conferences like this is what we need to now go into the new normal. I know that for our researchers and extension specialists attending this conference, you're all happy because finally you could do things in a face-to-face space. You can see old friends and acquaintances, develop new networks, and I'm happy that this conference is proceeding because it provides an avenue for all the researchers and extension specialists to now develop a new agenda on how to move forward, especially now that we are in a new normal. I hope the proceedings of these conferences will be submitted to my office so that on the part of the Commission, we will know what is happening on the ground. And the commitment that we give to all our participants is that we will continue supporting research and extension of our higher education institutions in the Philippines. I commend our higher education institutions that are partnering and working together, and thank those that are taking the important task of linking with universities all over the world. In behalf of the Commission, I thank Our Lady of Fatima University. Maraming salamat at mabuhay po tayong lahat.